So this would apply to all three of the cases that we dealt with now. It'll be the David versus Sultan, the David registration, and the David divorce.
Yes, they belong to the same client. Can you see now?
Yes.
Yeah, so this thing statement is statement for one client. So it's just that they're trying to complete. Usually they only give you the statement like only for the collection, and then now they are combined everything because this is for one client. So the statement came as one.
Okay. Trying to think now. I'm a bit lost of how to do this part.
No, you can't be lost. We need to solve it now.
Okay. I know that you mentioned for the last thing that the EFT here that's the amount that needs to be transferred to the correspondent.
Not transferred. This is the EFT will be. Can you see this one? This one
Yes. Yes.
is the amount that will be given to correspondent, but we cannot just record it. It's not. Don't record it. It will show when you balance. Remember, we must balance now. We are going to balance now. I want to do this. After doing this, we will be able to answer that question.
Okay.
It's not like
I
we're
understand.
ignoring it. Can you see it is not ticked? It's the only one that is not ticked. Can you see now? So
Yes.
this cannot be just recorded.
Okay.
You can, but I want you to. You can record in advance, but I want you to see how are we gonna balance these two.
Okay. I
Maybe
think
if you
what
can see
needs
the
to
whole
happen
process,
is.
you'll understand. Mm.
Sorry, can you say that again, please?
I'm just saying we can record this in advance if you want, but I don't prefer it that way.
No, I'd rather do it your way. I want to do it your way so then I understand. Okay, I think what
Problem.
needs to happen, we need to add up the correspondence amounts here. So for the first matter, the David's first one here, we need to add 3,000, the 1,400, and the 300 rand. I think maybe that's what needs to be done.
For why are we doing that?
To maybe calculate how much needs to be transferred.
Your network is cutting a bit. Repeat what you said.
Sorry, I said that we need to do that to figure out what amount needs to be transferred.
No. Don't use that approach. Don't use that approach. Can you see what you need to do? We need to come here now and do the
Okay.
transfer. The transfer can only be done under correspondent business. Are you with me?
Yes.
So now we balance this account so that we can be able to transfer. So
Okay.
whatever
Okay.
here, let me explain it. Whatever it is here, whatever is on this debit side of what? Of correspondent, it means it's what belongs to us. That is our money that we need to be paid. But
Okay.
before we were supposed, if we only had this side on the debit, meaning the total of everything was supposed to be transferred. Are you with me?
Yes.
But we can't because we must first minus what is on the credit. And you know why we minus on the credit?
Because that's the money that is owed to the correspondent.
Yeah, to the instructing attorney. So what we need to do to make it simple, we balance the account the way we know how to balance it. The biggest side of it, if you can check, is going to be the debit side. So we must add the debit side, all the amounts on the debit side. We must add all of them.
Okay.
So you can add that. I'm also going to add from my side, and then we compare the total.
Plus 500. Okay, so the amount on the debit side is going to be 72,955 rand.
955. I got
Seven.
72,925. I got 925 from my side.
Oh, okay, then I think I added in.
Yeah.
Oh no, I put. Okay, I see where I went wrong.
Yes. So let me change the color here. I'm just going to change the color to this so that it can be different. 72925. That's the total. Yes, I'm just trying to show that because I don't have space. This is the total that you see here. And remember, if you balance the account, the total must also be on the other side. Remember?
Yes.
Yes, that's what you do. And thereafter, you're going to take this total. You minus everything on the credit side. You minus everything here. Does that make sense? Because we want the difference between the sides.
Okay, so the amount I got for the credit side is 12,305 rand. So we're going to take 72,925 minus 12,305.
Yes.
And then we get an amount of 60620.
Yes, that is the amount that needs to be transferred. We call it, I call it correspondent transfer. Is the amount, remember remember from our past experience, we transfer between the correspondent business and the correspondent trust. Remember I did mention this a long time ago? I know it was a long time ago, but this is what we need to do. So when you transfer, you can only transfer between the business and the trust. And the names here must always be the same. If it is Sylvester, it's going to be Sylvester Business Correspondent, let's say Sylvester Business, Sylvester Trust. Are you with me?
Yes.
It's going to, you said it's 60, you said 60, ne? 6620.
Yes, 6620.
Yeah, this is the transfer that we are going to make. Can you see? I said correspondent trust, meaning we're going to transfer this under the correspondent trust under which side?
Yes. That correspondent trust on the
under which side?
credit side.
On there?
So we're taking the money out of the credit side because it's money leaving the account.
Yeah, but when I go and record on under the correspondent, under which side will I record that amount? Because I need to take it to the correspondent trust, this one.
It'll be on the debit side.
On the debit side. So go to the trust itself. Can you see this one? And I will come here and record on the debit side. Are you with me?
Yes.
Yes. And then I'm just going to say 60, 620. Let me pause so that you can make sure that you will never forget. It doesn't matter whether it's correspondent. It doesn't matter whether it's conveyancing. This is how you transfer.
You transfer
Are you with me?
Yes, you can't transfer from the business cash book to the trust.
Yeah, but let's make it practical and ask our. This is the entitled to. Who must be? Obviously, must go and take money from the trust. That's why here we debit. The trust is going down. Can you see now? We are decreasing the trust amount, the trust money here. Yes. That's the only reason why we come to the debit side. Because if we can come to the credit side here, we are increasing the trust, meaning the money that belongs to what? To the instructing attorney. No, we need to decrease it. So the transfer always takes place in that way.
Okay.
Are you okay?
Yes, yes.
Sure.
You can maybe explain it one more time.
Okay. Firstly, this correspondent business shows us the money that we are entitled to after finishing all the assignments. Can you see now?
Yes, the debit side.
The amount on the debit side is what belongs to us. But we must first take out what belongs to other people. So we gave allowance to the instructing attorney. So our money was supposed to be 72,925. Can you see? It can't be this anymore because we must first minus this. That's why we're left with 6620. Are you okay so far?
Yes. Yes.
So this amount is the one that belongs to us. So we must go and take it from what? from the trust because the money is sitting in the trust. So this money, remember, was collected from the other guy. Remember 75,000?
Yes.
So the money that belongs to us must be deducted from that 75,000 before we can go and pay the instructing attorney. That's how we came here and reduced the amount that you see here. So in this way, it's just that we're showing that the trust money must go down because of our fees.
Okay.
But
I see
this
what you're
is not
saying.
the real cash. It's not the real cash, by the way. It's just to balance the books. It's not the real cash. It's just showing you that that is our money and we get it from the trust.
Okay.
Remember, from our past experience, the transfers do not take place only under this account. It is taken further. So now we are going to take the real cash. Where must I do the transfer once again?
In the business cash book.
Can you see now? Now it's there. We are going to take the real cash. So here we're just showing that. Remember, the reason why we affect this is because remember the real cash. This 75,000 is standing in the what? In the cash book. That's why you must also go and affect the cash to take the real cash. Because the trust money, it is in the cash book. That's why I must first affect the trust money, thereafter go to the cash book and take the real cash. I don't know if it makes sense.
No, it does make sense because we can't take money from trust. It has to be transferred from trust to business.
Yes. And again, whatever is in the trust must be in the cash book. That's why when you receive money from your client, you put it in the trust cash book. You also go and put it in the client's money, which is that trust thing. You cannot affect trust cash book and not affect the trust, let's say the client's trust. No, you must always do that. That's why now I must go, the same amount must take place between the trust cash book and the trust what? Business bank account. This one. Are you with me?
Yes. Yes.
So I must go to the trust cash book. I must do that transfer. So I must say, okay, I'm going to transfer this to the business
cash book.
Cash book. In brackets, just to make it different from others. A transfer. Same amount. Can you see now?
Yes.
And I must go to the trust cash, to the business cash book under which side? Here.
The credit side.
No, I
mean the debit side. Sorry.
On the debit side.
The debit
so I'm
side.
Say,
because.
yes.
And then we're gonna the detail will be trust cash book, and then it'll be the same amount of 6620.
Yes. So I want you not to forget this. The transfers take place under 4 accounts. Firstly, between the individual accounts, which is, when I say individual accounts, I'm referring to this correspondent trust. Can you see now?
Yes.
Correspondent business. And thereafter, between the 2 cash books. Don't forget that, because sometimes you can end it here and then you're going to lose that mark there.
Okay.
Same amount. Can you see? 1, 2,
yes.
3, 4. Not only for correspondence, even for the trust account, the usual trust account, even for conveyancing, if you do the transfer will always be between the business and the trust, and thereafter between the cash books.
Okay.
Yes. Any questions so far?
No, I don't have any questions.
No problem. Now we can go to the trust. For example, we can go to the trust account that we have. Can you see here this which one? The trust account. Yeah, this one. I'm talking about this one. Can you see this one?
Yes.
Because I want you to understand. So this means, remember, let me write this. I don't know if I will confuse, but let me write it. This is, when I say correspondent trust, I am referring to
the instructing attorney.
Yes. This is what I mean by saying trust. Can you see now? So this means we collected this money. This money was supposed to be paid to the instructing attorney. But before we can pay that, we must first deduct this amount because this one belongs to us as a business. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So now we must balance this account. We must balance this account and check how much are we going to pay. So we're gonna say the biggest side is this one, eh?
Yes.
Can you see now?
75,000.
And then I'm gonna write 75,000 here. And then the difference will be here.
Yes. The difference is 14,380.
Don't you remember that amount?
Yes, the EFT here was.
Yes, that's why I say it must answer itself. So this is the we are paying this money to, it belongs to the instructing attorney. So we're gonna put that 14. You said 14, 380, eh?
14,380. Yes.
Yes. Can you see now? We paid out of the
Yes,
trust account. We must transfer it to the trust account and take it here. Can you see now? You don't have to. But even if you wrote it in advance, it's okay. It will still be okay. But for me, I want it to calculate itself. I don't want to record it. But you could have done this before and say trust bank and record here and say what? And say trust, correspondent trust, EFT. Can you see now? You should have done it. It doesn't change anything. But for me, I understand it better when I can even check myself if I'm correct or not. This means I'm correct. How can I just find it? Because it's the same as this, like you said. This one, same as this.
It's the same thing, but it makes more sense to do it like this.
Yes. And then this is what, like I said, this is what we are going to pay to the attorney, the instructing attorney. It's what we paid.
Yeah.
Shows that we paid. Why am I saying shows that we paid? You can even see the trust cash book, the trust bank account went down here. Can you see now? Because we came here, we paid.
Yeah.
We paid who? We paid this one. You can see that if you can check this account, we don't owe him anymore. We don't owe them anymore. This account is closed.
It balanced.
Even this one is closed, I'm telling you. If you can balance this one. So I think the sides are equal. Let's see.
Yeah, it equals.
Yes. So this means that we did the right thing. This is where they meant, like, these are the accounts that you can you see. It's like a lot of information. I wonder how many hours was this exam.
I think it was 2 hours. I think this exam needs to be longer though. Maybe 3 hours will be enough time.
No, this one is, so that's what I'm saying. Just imagine only for this question, and then like,
oh my gosh.
Can you see now? So now when we check here, we took what is entitled, what we are entitled to, which is 620, and we accounted to the correspondent 14,380.
Are we done transferring everything?
With the accounts we have done, remember, I know they wanted it to end here, but I just want to talk about what if, because I want to show you the channels that you need to, if they ask you for the channels, I want you to know. But with the accounts, general ledger accounts, we have completed everything that they wanted.
Okay.
So the only thing that you can do is to balance these accounts. I think you know how to do that. For the business bank account, you're gonna have balance carry down, balance brought down. Do you know how to do that?
Yes.
Yes. Even for SARS, you do the same thing. It's the balance carry down, balance brought down. Even the SARS thing. Like here, you can just say the biggest side. It will depend on the biggest side. So the biggest side, you can just put it here. I'm not sure how much is it, but yeah, you can add if you want us to balance it together. It's okay.
Okay, let me see. Okay, so this one side is 1605. The debit side of the SARS account is 1605.
Okay. Meaning it's the smallest.
105 plus 3,000. Okay, then the other side, the credit side is 8,025.
Okay. And then this one, let me just put it down here. And then I'm gonna copy it here. 8,025, meaning there's a difference here, of which I'm gonna call it balance. No, sorry.
Balance carried down is going to be 1605.
1605.
Yes.
How did you do that? You said you took the 8025 and minus all the figures here.
No, I think hold on, I mixed it up, sorry. 8025 minus 450 plus 210 plus 45 plus 300 plus 600. Okay, the figure is 6420.
6420. 64, ne? 6666, not 8. Let me just do this.
Yeah.
Yes. And then we must just do this here.
Yes.
Remember, usually this side, for SARS, we call it, I'm just putting it just for the sake of input side. And this is what?
Output.
Yeah. But you don't have to write it, I'm just saying. That's what.
Okay.
Yeah. This one, fees, usually you can say balance brought down, balance carried down, but I prefer if you take this to the same procedure, but you take it through the profit and loss. The difference goes to the profit and loss. Because it's an expense, it's an income, okay? So incomes will go to the profit and loss. So if you're balancing this one, the same procedure, you check the biggest side. I think the biggest side is going to be this one on the credit.
Okay, let me calculate that.
Yes.
That's 1,500. Okay, it's 53500.
535 like this, ne?
Yes.
And then
And the other
yes.
side, 14 plus 300 plus 2,000 plus 4,000. We've got 10,700
So you must find the difference
between that and
the
5,500. Okay, we've got 42800.
Yes, that is the profit and loss. Remember, even if you say balance carry down, they won't penalize you, but reality is you must say, how much is it?
It's 42800.
42800. Yes, you can. Let me just try to put it a bit high. Okay. Yes. So profit and loss, or you can say balance carry down, balance product. They won't penalize you, but normally they don't ask you to balance it because they know that students will have, two options. But that's how to do it. And this one is balanced, ne?
Yes.
The only one that we need to balance is this one. And then I think the biggest side is going to be the debit side.
Okay, you correct. The biggest side is the debit side.
Yes. I'm going to have
the amount that will be carried down.
Yes.
It's 49220. 49220.
220. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
And we must bring it down here. Okay. I know it's too much admin. Hopefully it makes sense because space-wise.
No, it does make sense.
Yes. And this one is balanced. This one is balanced. Yes. So these are the accounts themselves. Let's see. Just check them and then check if you've got any question on these ones.